What is the global market in the commodity?
So the definition of global market is the activity of selling goods or services into the rest of the world or the rest of other country. So what is commodity? Commodity is a basic agricultural product that either in their original form or in the processes form. Ah, Commodity coming from different player and different countries and are ready to substitute for one another.
So, what is the example of the commodity?
The example of commodity has four, that is energy, metal, livestock and meat, and agricultural. The energy is include the crude oil, uh, and the metal include gold, and the livestock and meat include hog and pigs, and the agricultural product that include soybean, wheat, and others.
So, can you explain me the demand and supply?
Demand and supply, where the market is price is not controlled.
Mhm.
The price for a product or service is
Yes.
determined by the interaction of demand and supply and the willingness of the buyer to buy, and the ability to produce and sell the product.
So, can you give me the determinant of demand?
There is five determinant of demand.
Okay.
That is the consumer taste and preferences. And
Yes.
what is the what consumer taste and preferences is the consumer interested in
Interest.
product A or product B. The second one is number of buyer in the market. An increased number of buyer in the market will increase the demand for a product. And the third one is consumer income. When consumer income increase, maybe there will be increase in demand also. So the fourth one is the price of related goods such as substitute or complementary. So if a coffee price increase and the substitute of coffee, that is tea, will have increase in demand. And the fifth one is the consumer expectation of the future. For example, if the consumer decided to buy now when the price is low, and the consumer stop to buy when the price is high, so that will affect demand.
So, what is the determinant of supply?
Determinant of supply F6.
Six.
That is resource or input costs, production technology, tax and subsidy, price of other goods, and price of other goods supplier could produce. And the fifth one is the supplier's expectation about the future, and the sixth one is number of seller or supplier in your market. So resources or input costs, for example, if the price of animal feed increase, the farmer will sell the livestock at an earlier time and at a lower weight. So the production technology, if there is increase in technology of production, the supplier will increase their supply. So tax and subsidy. If the government raise tax, then the production will increase, thus the supplier will lower his supply or her supply. So price of other goods and the supplier could produce. This is related to opportunity cost. So the fifth one is supplier expectation about the future. The expectation about future price of product will reflect the production of product. Okay, the number of seller and supplier in the market. If there is so many supplier in the market, then there will affect the supply rate.
So, what can you conclude about the demand and supply?
So if there is increase in demand
Yes.
for your product without increase in supply, it will lead to a higher market price for your
Price.
product. So if there is increase in supply for a product without an increase in demand, will lead to a lower market price.
Yes. So, what is the Malaysian scenario of agriculture community?
So there is four
Four.
scenario. The first one is oil palm. Oil palm planted area in 2060 reached 5.74 million hectare, an increase of 1.7. Okay lah.
1.7.
The highest or the largest is Sarawak and Sabah. In Sarawak, there is 26% planted, and Sabah there is 27% planted with oil palm. That is the largest state that produce oil palm, and the rest is on the peninsula Malaysia. So the second scenario is rubber. So I will talk about world production.
Okay.
The world production or the global production of rubber reached to 27.2 million in the year of 2016. And the second point, that is the world consumption. I will talk about the largest consumption by country.
Yes.
The largest country that consume or use rubber is USA, India, Japan, Thailand, Brazil, and Germany, and Russia.
Also.
Also the big country. Okay, so I will talk about Malaysian rubber production.
Okay.
The production of Malaysian rubber decreased by 3.2% on year to 79.79 thousand ton in 2016. The largest sector that hold rubber production is the small holding sector, that's accounted for about 92.4% of the rubber production, and the rest is the estate sector. So the third scenario is paddy, and according to statistic in 2016, there is the production is about 1.77 million metric ton. So I will talk about granary area, or locally known as Jelapang Padi. Granary area for major irrigation scheme that is greater than 4,000 hectare, and it was recognized by the government or the National Agricultural Project as the main producer of paddy. There are 10 granary area in Malaysia, and I will give you two. That is, the first one is Muda Agricultural Development Authority, and the second one is Kemubu Agricultural Development Authority. The agricultural and agro-based industry wants the country to achieve 100% SSL or self-sufficient level by 2020. So there is given a budget of 6 billion, and 2.2 billion is allocated by the government to help the paddy farmer. So basically, if the paddy field can produce about 6 ton per hectare, then the targeted would be 7 ton per hectare. So in an effort to achieve the 100% SSL, farmer had to increase their crop yield. The last scenario is cocoa. Cocoa is the fourth largest commodity in Malaysia, and we are the 7th largest cocoa blender after Cote d'Ivoire, German, United States, and Indian and Brazilian. Sabah is the is the state that produce the largest cocoa crop area in Malaysia. The major world cocoa production country is Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Indonesia, Nigeria, Cameroon, Brazil, and Ecuador. So in existing the cocoa industry, the Malaysian government created the MCB, or Malaysian Cocoa Board. The main objective is to develop the cocoa industry in Malaysia, and emphasis is given to increase the production rate of cocoa in this country.
Is there any other industry crop besides the oil palm, rubber, paddy, and cocoa?
There is 4, and the first one is coconut. Coconut is the 4th most important crop in terms of hectareage of the oil palm, or rubber, and rice. The rise of oil palm contribute to the decline of coconut hectareage. So in Southeast Asia or Malaysian, the smallholder is one of the main producer of coconut. The coconut are grown for the production of flesh and many others related coconut product. The second one is pineapple. Pineapple is one of the oldest agricultural export crop. Pineapple cultivation can be divided into two, that is the small holding and estate sector. Pineapple estate accounted for about 62% of Malaysian production. The third one is cocoa.
Coffee.
Coffee or cocoa.
Oh, coffee.
There is two most important species that is grown in Malaysia, that is Liberica and Robusta.
Robusta.
The Liberica accounted about 90% and the
Robusta.
Robusta 10% and Liberica 90%. Okay. Compared to Arabica, Robusta have a bitter taste and more acidic. So the origin of coffee came from Ethiopia and then spread to other countries. So coffee is the second most traded commodity after petroleum. The main coffee producer and exporting country is Brazil, Vietnam, Indonesia, Colombia, and India.
Yeah.
Malaysia was 60 worldwide and accounted about 0.16% of the world coffee production. The last one is pepper. In 2016, Malaysia was the fifth producing country of pepper, and it has shown increase by 3.3%
Sen.
compared to 2015. The largest one is Indonesia, and the second one is India, and Brazil, the third one. So there are about 90% Bumiputra smallholder that planted pepper in
Pepper.
Malaysia right now.
So what is the importance of agricultural marketing?
There is 6 important of
Okay,
agricultural
six.
marketing, and the first one is specialization. Specialization is where a business focus on producing a limited scope of production, and it is good because we can gain greater productive efficiency. Many countries specialize in producing the goods and service that are native to that part of the world. And the second one is the source of income. Marketing provide many opportunities opportunities to earn profit, and this profit can be reinvested to gain more profit in the future. Farmer can increase their income by producing more to factories or processing mill. The third one is physical function. Marketing lead to the provision of roads, adequate transport, and communication facilities. So the fourth one is careers opportunities. In marketing, it generates employment for people in such area of buying and selling, marketing, research, advertising, and many more. The fifth one is
One.
help in transfer of exchange and movement of goods. Marketing process enable transaction and distribution of agricultural output, and it facilitates the transfer of ownership between seller and buyer. The last one is development of an economy. Marketing contribute to achieving business profit and growth. The more organized a marketing organization makes the economy more strong and stable.